Good morning, my lovelies. How is everyone today? Oh, busy weekend. I got some things done and not other things done, and today I've really got to crack in and get my food prep and get laundry done and get my house cleaned, and I have a very busy week ahead for me. Mondays appear to be the days that are kind of like a little bit of self-care and a little bit of just getting stuff done around the house so that I'm prepared for the week. Yay! So we're starting a new deck today. We're starting the Sacred Rebels. This was actually the first Alana Fairchild deck that I got, and I absolutely love it. And I love excuse me, I love the artwork, and I also love kind of just how she writes. And I do not plan on reading you what I wrote today. I'm going to read you what she wrote, because I spent a good hour with this card this morning and writing, but I ended up writing on my manuscript, my book. I think I have like 3 manuscripts going right now. And this really dovetailed into one of my manuscripts. So I don't want to read that to you because I hope to eventually have that published. So I'm going to read what she wrote. So the card is 36, and it is listening for truth. And I love that the lady is listening to the conch shell, and you can see the planet behind her, and you can see the galaxy swirl behind her as well. It's a beautiful image, listening for truth. Truth speaks to us constantly, but not always in words. It may communicate through a feeling that's hard to put into words, but brings an inexplicable sense of peace, trust, and knowledge that somehow everything's going to work out okay. Listen for truths beneath the words rather than the superficial message of the words themselves. This is especially true for communication of those around you, the media, press, etc. You will begin to hear fear in the words and the actions of those around you, even if they preach love. So listen deeper. Listen for the truth. You are hearing something that is not being said, and what you are hearing is truthful. Follow your own inner light. We live in a world where truth is frequently avoided out of fear of what it might reveal. If you or someone else is fearful that the truth will explode rather than free and heal, then some personal healing is required. It is time to let go of old wounds in favor of a greater sense of self-love and acceptance. You are always being asked by the universe to love yourself, to honor the truth, even if you feel you are the only one doing so. Truth keeps the energy of life flowing through the rebellious heart. It lies damp in the spirit of the sacred rebel. Even if those with less awakened hearts fear the truth, you must not turn away from it. Don't resent the state of affairs. Perhaps your job is to show the truth that can be witnessed even when many may want to hide from it. What others do is always their choice, but through your honorable deeds, done with integrity, it will set you free. Always be the truth seeker. Never deny or try to quiet this down to make others comfortable. You are meant to be an agitator sometimes, even though you don't have to confront people to do it. You don't necessarily have to say a word, though sometimes you will. Often, you can agitate the most loving sense by unveiling simple truth through your knowing. Hold compassion for truths you behold. Do not use them as knives to cut others or yourself with their harshness, but always use clear insight, which allows light to loosen the knots that bind simply by knowing which thread gently to tug. I'm going to read the prayer on this one. I love this one. I now release all vows of silence I have ever made. consciously or not. I now release all lies, deceptions, and painful words, spoken or unspoken, that are affecting my ability to clearly know and speak my truth. I am held in unconditional love and light with protection and grace. Within me, beyond all that rises and falls, only truth remains. Blessed be. I love that. I think that some of the stuff that I'm working through, inner child stuff, this is a big one, because it's not just listening for truth, it's speaking truth. And one of the things that I do with daily devotional, one of the reasons that I started doing daily devotional was for me, to help me make sure that I'm speaking my truth and holding my truth in and allowing it to radiate out. One of the gifts that comes with my organism, flesh sac, physical manifestation, is that when I speak and when I work through things out loud, I can hear it. So I'm like an auditory type learner and processor. And when I can hear it and I can speak it, I find that truth. And daily devotions, when I do them, right, and I do them every day, Monday through Friday, I give myself a little bit of a break, but when I do them, both the journaling before and sometimes after, depending on kind of what triggers when I talk about it, helps me bring things forward so that I can make sure that I am walking in light and I am living in light and walking and speaking in that truth. And I've been teaching and working in the metaphysical community since the early 90s. And I've been walking my own path of making sure I'm connected to light, and through my own journey of hardships, which I've had a fair share. We all have, right? I am not above or beyond anyone else. My journey is just unique to me. And working through those things, like I'm working through early childhood stuff, like early pre-verbal childhood stuff. And that pre-verbal childhood stuff is stuff that's just been stuck back there that I haven't known how to get to or haven't been ready to get to. And verbalizing all of that and working through all of that is a healing process. And I have to be able to be still and listen. And also, I have to trust my light. And I have to be able to let that light go forward. It's really amazing now that I've actually connected back in with the metaphysical community. Like, I've been truly pretty disconnected since 2012. I shut the door and did my own stuff. Books that I have are books that I've had for decades, right? Like, I think I bought one new book, which was The Spiritual Power of Empathy, a couple years ago. I've bought oracle cards, right? But I haven't, and I bought Pivot, which is the Paralandra story, but I haven't really connected in with anything else because I've been doing my own work and I've been trusting my own work. And now that I'm connected back in a little bit more, I'm noticing that there's a lot of work out there that is just on repeat of what I was saying back when it wasn't a popular thing to say. One of the things I advocated for years ago is, wouldn't it be awesome if you could get body workers, massage workers, and yoga people, and Tai Chi and Qigong people to all work together for body awareness? Wow, now it's happening. So I think that's part of being in your light and living your truth and listening to the truth. Is sometimes you're a little ahead of the curve in some things, and that's okay. You're bringing it forward, letting it seep into the consciousness so that it can be brought fully forward so everybody can hear it. And that's what light workers do. Light workers are usually way ahead of the curve in one way or the other. And then it gradually becomes part of consciousness. It gradually becomes part of cultural integrity. It gradually becomes part of the cultural push in a positive way. And one of the big things about listening for truth is I know that I've talked about it before, and I don't talk a lot about politics and Western cultural things very often, the politics side. But something that I know is very important is that if you want to know news, read and watch both sides. Always make sure that you are reading as well as watching, if you possibly can, two sides of every story. And get it down to the factual information as much as possible. And sometimes that means you have to educate yourself. I have a hard time reading legalese, but I have learned to read with discernment, and I have learned to find places where I can look at the bills and I can look at the laws that are being proposed, and I can read them and break them down a little bit in my head. Sometimes I write it out so that I can participate in my democratic government with as much knowledge as possible, so that I do not vote or make decisions based on what everybody else is doing. I want to make sure I'm getting down to what effects I can have on government and policies and ideas as best that I can. And sometimes there's no good choices. Sometimes the political candidates are not good choices either way, and you have to make a best choice based on light truth. And the reason I'm bringing this up right now is that too many people, and I know quite a few, who are very sensitive, light souls, and they're very frustrated by the way our government works. They're very frustrated by policies. They feel very inundated with information. Pick me, right? And that can be overwhelming, and that can be inundating, and that can be the point where someone just decides, fuck it, I'm just not going to participate. Unfortunately, that shoots you in your own foot. That's cutting off your nose to spite your face. That is giving up without ever having taken the swim. And you're just drowning. You're allowing the water to wash over you and drown you and stifle your spirit and stifle your light. And especially if you're a woman. Women have so much power, and there has been such an imbalance in power for centuries in different parts of the world. And if you are a woman and you question your power, think of it this way. You can grow a whole new human being in your body. Wow! That is an amazing amount of power and integration and amazement. And harness that power. Grab hold of that feminine power. You have the ability to hold that power. You can hold life. And women are the water bearers. They are the caretakers of the waters of life. Literally. That is an amazing amount of power. Use that power. Make good choices. Participate. We are in a place in time and space where we have the ability to grab hold of that power and create balance. The thing that we are taught in a patriarchal society is that women are to be feared, really, but they couch it differently. They couch it like they need to take care of us. But in reality is there's a lot of fear about our power, because often, not every time, but when men have power, they use their power to lord over or push other people down. Not every man. I'm making just a generalized statement based on history, right? Man rises to power, women lose their power, etc., etc. But what we have to fight that is that women who grab hold of their light and grab hold of their femininity and their life-giving power, it isn't about lording it over anyone. Power is about equilibrium and balance and lifting everyone up together, giving everyone waters of life to flourish and thrive, where no one person is above another. That is what true women power is. And if you amplify that in your life and you use that in your life to uplift and magnify and nourish all of those around you, you can show and change and transform through that power. So listening for truth is a very complex power card, because to get all that, to get there, you have to trust yourself and you have to love yourself and you have to trust that your inner truth is guiding you right. And to get to that inner trust and to get to that inner listening, you have to connect into your light soul, your light being, the being that just happens to inhabit this organic flesh sack being. So that's the power of this card. And I'm going to carry that with me today. Today is my nourishing day. Today is my self-care day. I might even henna my hair today. It's been 6 months and I want to do that. Some of my grays are kind of coming out of my red. And I might make bread today. I know I'm going to clean. A lot of self-care today. And every woman, every person, man or woman, needs self-care. And I think today is going to be my day. So have a blessed day, my friends, and I will see you tomorrow in prayer. Blessed be.